Hello, this is the Crushed Monocle Podcast Unplugged edition, exclusive to YouTube. These are short these are short episodes where we get to talk about stuff we don't get to talk about on the podcast due to having guests and topics and stuff. Most of the time, they're short movie reviews or stuff that's going on in our lives. And on this episode, Doctor Strange is in our lives.
Yeah. So what is this like? This is our third unplugged, but it's also been our third movie unplugged. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going like movies throughout the whole thing.
Hey, fuck it, man.
That's all right. Hey,
people don't even know who I am. I haven't even been introduced, and I'm just this.
I know.
This is God talking to you, listeners.
The part of God is actually played by Jon, my co-host.
I'm actually not a God. Sorry.
And, hey, look, if Ghostbusters has taught you anything, when someone asks if you're a god, you say yes.
Oh yeah, fuck. Okay, you're right.
I'm Coop, also not a god, and we're here to talk about the latest installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
The synopsis for this movie is some stuff happens and it's a continuation of both WandaVision and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man No Way Home, I guess. Yep. I don't know. No, before we go any further, they will be spoilers for this movie because by the time this is posted, everyone in the universe has probably already seen it by the time this video comes out. So if you have not seen this movie or WandaVision or anything else in the MCU, just tune out now.
Also, like straight up, like if you haven't seen this movie and you're like even remotely clicking into the audio of this video, like I'm not trying to be a jerk, but you might want to like check your common sense just a titch.
Yeah, you're really dumb if you're watching this.
Yeah.
Don't be dumb.
Don't be dumb. Like if you haven't seen a movie and you're concerned about spoilers, you probably shouldn't be on YouTube clicking on videos that are about the fucking movie you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
All right. So, I guess I'll ask you to start, Jon. What did you like about this movie?
Okay, so I think as I'm trying to like kind of like frame this a little better. Maybe I should have been more prepared, but
it's hard to frame, isn't it?
It kind of is.
Taking notes, I thought about that.
So I went and saw it today, so I'm like fresh. It's been like 3 or like 5 hours since I finished or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was like starting to think about like, as someone who for me is like a pretty hardcore like superhero fan, comic book fan. I'm not gonna fucking lie. Like I love Marvel movies. I love DC movies, content, shows. Like I just fucking give me superhero shit all day long. Like I consume it. I love all the darker stuff that's on Amazon, like Invincible and The Boys and like all that shit. Right. Like I just love it. I'll just feed it to me.
We're the target demographic.
1,000%. Like I grew up on action figures. Like of course I want fucking superheroes and everything I watch. You know what I mean? So, and I don't mean to get too long-winded, but I was starting to think about like my journey of like this Avengers thing that everyone has gone through for like what the past like fucking 15, 16, 17 years, right? Like
seriously, this is probably like the 20th movie or something like that.
Yeah, some crazy shit. And I remember when like the first like phase 1 was going on, I was just like, Iron Man, I don't give a fuck about Iron Man. Like I'm an X-Men guy. Like I don't give a fuck. You know, like Captain America, like I give zero fucks about Captain America. Like all of these guys are so cheese dick. Like Thor's such a cheese dick. Like fuck this shit. You know? Like I don't care. And so what happened with me was I have a brother that is 18 years older or younger than me. So like I have like someone that could be my kid, you know what I mean? Like and he needed someone to take him to the first Avengers movie. So I had seen like Iron Man randomly and like I'd seen Thor, like, but hadn't seen Captain America. And I was like, I'll go see this fucking movie. Fuck it. It should be fine. You know, like I don't give a fuck about these guys.
Yeah.
And I saw the first Avengers and I was like, holy shit, that was really fucking cool. Like,
that was awesome.
God. Yeah, like the production value, like this is a superhero movie. Holy fucking shit, you know? And so like ever since then I was like, feed it to me. Feed, I need it. Yeah, everything. Just, And here I am, like a decade plus, God knows how. When the first Avengers dropped, like 2010 or something like that?
2012 was the
Okay,
first Avengers.
so here we are a decade later, and I'm like having anxiety about going and seeing these movies because it means so much to me personally about like, how the fucking timeline like goes down the road.
Yeah,
like I'm
right?
like, fuck, what's gonna happen? And I'm like, fuck, I hope I'm not like sitting somewhere where someone's talking and I miss something.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, I hope the sound quality's good. Like
these people, the characters are your life, or like your in your life. They've been part of your life for like 15 years. So like you care for them, legit.
Yeah, like I am very much concerned about what's going on with Wanda. Like I need Wanda to be happy and healthy and safe. You know what I mean? When she literally never is.
Yes, especially in this movie. Homegirl is wrecked from the floor up in this movie from the get-go.
It's sad, man. It's sad.
Look, I just want to say, first off, I'm glad that okay, so I'm not gonna get that long-winded. I love these movies because I love comics. I was a freaking comic book nerd when I was a kid, teenager. Sure. Still today I read comics.
Yeah.
But I'm glad for once that whatever they're doing on TV is having an effect on what's in the films.
I know, it's making the universe like so much like
convoluted. I know.
Yes,
I mean, but in a good way.
But I love it. I love it. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, feed it to
literally me. Just like the comics. Because the comics had that same problem. Like, oh crap, I gotta go read X-Men. Yeah. Yep. So, but with everything that's been TV up until now, doesn't like it could not count if you don't want it to. Like the Netflix shows up until last year or so, it hasn't counted. Like it happens on this. And then like even the show with friggin' Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I hated. I didn't like that show.
Right.
It had a character from Avengers into it, and it didn't even count in the movies, right? So now with the Disney shows, just this last year, now the stuff you can't see this Doctor Strange movie without watching WandaVision.
Yeah, I was thinking that
sequel.
Yeah, like if there's at least like I don't know, like 20%, 30%, who knows? I'm not gonna like speculate, but like. There's people that went into Doctor Strange 2 or would, Multiverse of Madness, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Went in without seeing WandaVision. And I'm sure for the first like fucking 10, 15 minutes, they were just like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean?
Why is she doing this?
Yeah. What is the problem? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That thought totally crossed my mind. Like as I was sitting there, like watching it.
Well, I mean, even people that watch WandaVision, there's people literally complaining right now. It's like, why'd this character do a 180? She was fine at the end of WandaVision. Like, no, she wasn't.
You watched the wrong show, my friend.
Right.
That's
seriously like the whole point. I mean, WandaVision's emotional. I loved it, but it's very, it started out as one thing and then turned into something else.
Yeah, I mean the ending for that was a huge letdown for me, but that's because I had built it up personally,
right,
for my own ending that I wanted.
Right, exactly. I mean? But they make good on it with this movie. Yeah. You see, we was already disappointed because we weren't expecting the show to affect the movies, but now it is doing it
for sure.
So
for sure.
So there's people complaining about that, but like, would they like not watch? Like, really, WandaVision is a 8-hour villain origin story for Wanda.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep. Agreed.
The biggest thing that I'm going to say that I like this whole movie. I don't like Doctor Strange comics. Even as a kid, I thought they were super corny.
Yeah, I'm not a Doctor Strange guy. You know what I mean? Like I'm not looking at Doctor Strange and I'm like, that motherfucker's badass.
Right.
Admittedly now I'm like Thor and Captain America and like all the other Avengers. I'm like Black Widow's fucking badass. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like shit like that. But like I'm not looking at Doctor Strange like, oh, he's cool. You know what I mean?
But this movie kind of reminds you in a roundabout way that he is kind of cool because even though this is a WandaVision sequel and it's still a Doctor Strange movie, there's stuff that goes on with his character in this movie that I forgot about until I saw it, because I don't think like, oh yeah, I remember that guy in Doctor Strange 1. I forgot that he was madly in love with this girl and now he can't be with her. And you know what I'm saying?
Even like the shit that fuck it, we're doing spoilers, but like when he I don't know, I haven't watched Doctor Strange 1 and I don't know how long.
Probably since it came out.
Yeah, it came out. I watched it. I was like, okay, that's fine. Moving on to the next Avengers shit, right? But like, did he ever mention about his like dead sister?
No. He did not do that, but that was like kind of the point in that scene. That something he doesn't talk about, but that version of Doctor Strange knew.
The way that just in the dialogue alone, like, you know, credit to the, you know, the screenplay guy and Sam Raimi and everybody else involved. And I should know other people's names besides Sam Raimi, but like, you know, without, they were able to like really make him more of a character that I gave a shit about in this movie.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, which you didn't get that in Doctor Strange. You didn't get that in like the Infinity Saga, you know, like that type shit. You know what I mean? Like, he was just kind of more arrogant and shit. But like with this, you're like, dude actually like has been through some shit, obviously. But
yeah,
like,
and I get it.
Even more shit. And like, he genuinely kind of gives a fuck. You know what I mean? Where you know, like before it's like, yeah, he generally cares, but like he's more into himself. Or this one, you're like, dude actually like gives a shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, it's apparent too that we think because characters are heroes or Avengers that they're all like gung-ho with each other, like, oh, Captain America, oh, Iron Man.
Yeah, we're
but
all
like
friends.
He's not an Avenger for one. He don't give a crap about any of this cinematic universe. He doesn't have any friendships with anybody that much. I mean, and right now he forgot about Spider-Man, so he doesn't really know much of these people at all. Like, even when these other weird variants happens in the middle of the movie, he's like, I don't know or care about any of this stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But in having that character that way, I think it makes him more relatable to the viewer.
Okay.
Because this movie from the start, it doesn't have any downtime at all. The opening scene of this movie, action sequence after action sequence.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm gonna say before we get anything else is that freaking Sam Raimi is amazing, and I'm glad that this is a Sam Raimi movie. It's not a committee movie. Like,
this is a fucking Sam Raimi movie.
I know you see all these
1,000%. Like,
you see all these people. Look, even they say the same thing about like the guy who did the new Thor.
Taika what? Yeah, fuck. I'm not even gonna butcher his
name. I know I'm gonna butcher his name.
Yeah,
but people say like, oh, it's got his touches on his movies, or James Gunn. Like, maybe a little bit, but those movies aren't like this. This is a freaking Sam Raimi movie.
Dude, this is I said this to a friend as I was like about to drive home. I was like, we basically just watched a version of like a superhero getting a hold of the Necronomicon.
I kept calling it in that movie for the whole time. It's the Necronomicon. Yeah, they call it the Darkhold. It's the Necronomicon.
Yeah, that's the fucking Necronomicon, and a fucking super powered person got a hold of it, and everything went fucking haywire.
But not only just the structure, just to how it looks. He must work with the same cinematography, or he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah,
because everything's like up and close and awkward, like a TV show.
Oh, for sure.
You know, there's no wide angle shots in this entire movie. Everything's real close and tight and slightly off kilter.
Yep.
There's some stuff like that whole middle part when they put Wanda in the mirror dimension.
Yeah.
And she comes through the water and she's all twisted and weird. Like, that's freaking Evil Dead. The doors are slamming.
Yeah. Or like it reminded me of like a lot of the possession stuff in
Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, Drag Me to Hell. Why did I call it From Hell? But yeah, Drag Me to Hell. Like, like so much of that movie, like it felt like an antithesis, or however you say that word, like of like everything Sam Raimi's done up until this point. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like
and the Oldsmobile's in it too. Did you point out the Ash's car?
No, I didn't notice.
You didn't see it?
I didn't see it. No.
Towards the end, when Doctor Strange and the lady are walking through that weird alternate where the world's like kind of floating, no gravity.
Yeah.
You see Ash's car. They walk like right around it.
No shit. Damn it, I missed it. I fucking missed it. I mean, there's Easter eggs. I'm not the best at like catching this.
There's a whole bunch of stuff though. Like when Wanda's coming in and she kills the Illuminati, she's got all the blood on her. It's almost identical to Carrie.
Yes, I noticed that. Even
like the way she's doing her hands and stuff is like Carrie. And then there's like the part when she's meditating, it looks like Suspiria.
Yeah.
You know,
I know. No, I mean, okay. So did you have one other thing? Because like I think I've seen you tweeting about some stuff that I want to like bring up to you.
Go ahead and bring it up, and then I'll come back. Okay.
So you have been responding, which kind of like made me, before I'd seen the movie, you were responding to, I think, an IGN tweet saying, you know, a lot of people think that this movie should be rated R.
Right.
And so I was like, they're just being fucking, that's just wild shit, right?
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go see the movie, and like I doubt it, whatever, right? I will say, and I want you to at least give me time to like do a disclaimer afterwards after I say
Do
this,
it.
okay? I will say within the MCU, that's all I'm comparing it to. I'm comparing it to like Captain America,
Right.
Even Infinity War, where like half the fucking population got dusted, like all that shit. I'm comparing it to all of that. This movie, minus the blood, was pretty fucking gory.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
I'm not comparing it to like any horror movie or
Right.
like anything we've seen that's rated R or an action movie that's hyper violent or like The Boys or anything like that. I'm not comparing it to that at all. What I'm saying is like within the MCU, that was fucking pretty fucking dark and violent.
Yeah, it comes down to intent and peril. That's where the R comes from, I think. I don't think the movie should have been rated R. I mean, I don't think
I feel like they maybe grease some like,
but they really push, and I think because of the peril, like there's parts in the movie like you're not even seeing gore. Like when, for example, I'll make this quick, is when Wanda had America Chavez tied down, and she was trying to take her power. That kid was screaming horrifying, and it sounded like a real kid screaming, not like an action movie scream, like, oh,
right.
It sounded like a real little girl screaming in horror.
Yeah.
That enough, showing a child, a 13 or 14-year-old girl, or however old she's supposed to be,
I don't know.
Peril,
yeah.
That's enough for an R rating. For one.
Yeah. Okay. Like, I feel like they we're talking to the ratings people, the MPRA or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they fucking like slipped them some money and was like,
well,
you're gonna slot this in at PG-13.
There's the part when Xavier, he goes into Wanda's mind.
Yep.
And then he almost saves her basically.
Yep.
And then all the red smoke comes, and then
okay.
If you watch that, if you paid close attention, she has someone actually on YouTube has it paused. She's got like this demonic face and different teeth.
No shit.
And she doesn't snap his neck. She pulls his head in two pieces.
No shit.
Yeah, but it's so quick. You think she's just snapping his neck.
Yeah.
But she's like pulling his head in half. Like she breaks the top of his head from his jaw.
You gotta send me that link. It's on that link.
Okay. First, on that's a quick edit. That's a Sam Raimi edit.
Yeah.
There's also when she fights Captain America, whatever her name is, Captain Carter.
Yeah.
She cuts her in half.
Yes.
Because it doesn't just hits her and she falls over.
No.
If you pay attention, she falls into two pieces.
Yeah, she fucking gets cut in half right through the fucking abdomen or torso or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And then that one dude blows his brains out from the inside out.
Yeah, dude. And then she immediately like fucking unravels homeboy and like pops his head once the unraveling's done.
And he's screaming in horrible pain while he's doing it.
The entire time. The entire time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the screaming that makes it horrifying because you're like, oh, it's just rubber bands. Like, no, that hurts.
No, that's a dude.
And then his head just pops.
Yeah. So like, and to kind of close this out, like, I have 6-year-old kids, right?
Yeah. And they would have been terrified.
Yeah. And so like, we're kind of thinking about watching like Star Wars movies,
right?
And Avengers. This isn't like the 80s when we grew up, when I was watching fucking Predator at 5.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Like,
I had a Freddy Krueger lunchbox.
Yeah, like I was literally like Jason, fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, like all that, all fucking day long. Like, shit came on, I watched it. Didn't matter what was rated. My parents knew it was rated R. They didn't give a fuck. Like, like whatever, right?
We turned out okay.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm not saying, but like, I guess being a dad or some shit, I'm like trying to like take it easy. I'm not trying to like freak them out and shit like that, like. And so they're like, well, maybe we'll watch, an Avengers. And I was like, cool. I was like, let me put on the preview from Captain America 1.
Right.
Like just the preview, because Disney has that loaded up. Yeah. They see Red Skull and they're like, fuck no, I'm not fucking doing this. Like, I'm not doing this. Right. And so I was like, okay, well, there is a little bit of like peril and like intensity and like Red Skull serious looking, like whatever. And I was like, Okay, well, let's compare that to this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and so I mean, I do see, and this is me very much being like clutching my pearls type shit,
Mm-hmm.
but I do see someone who was like, okay, you know, we got through Infinity War and all that shit, and that was really kind of intense. A lot of people died and like whatever, but we kind of like, you know, explain that away or like whatever, right? And then it's like, you know, my kids still want to see these movies and they're 9 or 8 or 7 or something, you know, like whenever you got them started. And it's like, I can't imagine like sitting in the theater with all of those movies up till like literally every one of the movies up until this movie, thinking that I was going to get that kind of similar type of like violence, which air quotes violence, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I think what makes it worse is it's throughout the whole friggin'
movie.
It
never
it's not
stops.
just one
it
scene.
never stops.
I mean, the movie opens with that same kid screaming her lungs out, going to get devoured by this octopus monster.
Yeah.
And then you see it on the street and they literally pull his eyeball out, which is just like Evil Dead, by the way.
Yeah.
Remember the eye, you know, it's giant.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't know if the movie should be rated R. But
no, it shouldn't be rated R, but like,
they definitely
I feel like parents should have just been like, someone at Disney, you know, someone should have just been like, hey, just a heads up, you know, like we're gonna be fucking bringing it this.
Okay,
you know?
So look, the Netflix shows. You watched all the Netflix Marvel shows.
I am maybe like enough. Like I've seen.
You watched Daredevil.
Yeah, like so I've seen the first season of Daredevil, which is gnarly as shit, and then I've caught episodes randomly of like Luke Cage and that whole situation.
Okay,
yeah, so
but
like
the worst thing in the entire MCU, not counting this movie, was in Daredevil season 1 when Kingpin smashes the dude's head into the door.
That
it just keeps going for like 3 minutes.
You're like, why is this still going on?
Like, they're not cutting away, and then it just looks like spaghetti. With the guy's brains like that was the most, and people talked about that like, oh, this could never be in the movies. This is the darkest part. Doctor Strange is just as violent, if not more violent, in that movie, because all the horror that happens in this movie happens in succession. For one, it's constant, and it's in bright colored, up super close. It's not hiding it or masking it or off screen. All the horror happens on the screen.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the movie should be rated R. The last movie we reviewed was X. That was an R-rated movie.
Yeah. I mean, that's fucking apples and oranges.
Okay,
like
this is not that kind of R. But this movie is made for younger viewers, obviously.
Though, like PG-13, like the definition of PG-13 kind of is accurate on this movie.
Right.
Like,
I would say,
like
I don't think the movie I don't think the movie needed to be rated R, but it's justifiable. The PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
And I think this is probably the only movie from the MCU that deserved a PG-13.
But rating. Okay, so hold on though. Like, I just was thinking this as you were saying it. Like, think about the fact that like the whole idea now, or at least some of the idea, at least an arm of the MCU idea, is that we're going into these really like dark arts situations, right? Like,
with devil worship and
Satanism, so like you know, I think Doctor Strange is the first like movie, but I mean, if people have seen Moon Knight, like we're kind of on the way there.
You know,
like
there's horror elements in that
and
too.
Moon Knight's origin story is definitely not fun. You know what I mean? Like that type shit. You know, and it's like we have Blade coming up. Blade's not going to be You know, like if you're giving us a PG-13 Blade, we're basically getting that same amount of like gore and violence that we just got in Doctor Strange.
You need it.
You absolutely have to. You can't tell the story without it. Like there's no way. You know what I mean?
So I think it's safe to say that this is the first horror movie from MCU, and
why are you counting the New Mutants?
But that's not MCU.
I'm teasing.
But I will say, if they're clearly going in that horror direction, and if you're a comic book reader, there's two things that this movie sets up that's very important. Number one, this movie, Loki, even I don't know, WandaVision to a degree, and even Captain Marvel, they're setting up for Secret Wars.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, if you know Secret Wars, that's probably going to be the next Avengers type of movie where everyone teams up. But they're also teaming. They're clearly, no one said anything, but they're clearly setting up a Midnight Suns.
I don't know what's the Midnight Suns storyline.
Okay.
Am I just a total fucking noob for not knowing that?
Midnight Suns. I mean, it's kind of it was Doctor Strange, the Punisher, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, Blade.
I'm looking it up right now.
It's kind of like the dark horror elements Avengers.
Cool. Love it.
Okay.
Love it. Yeah.
And they've already got like a lot of that stuff because going in from this movie, clearly Doctor Strange just screwed up with that third eye.
That's the subject matter of that new Marvel game that's supposed to drop that has like Wolverine in it and like fucking crazy armor and shit. It's Midnight Suns. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But they got Ghost Rider and
all
these cool things that are super dark.
Yeah.
And they've already set a lot of it up. You saw Eternals?
Yes, I saw Eternals.
Okay,
yeah.
So remember at the end of Eternals, that one dude has that weird sword?
Yeah, the black, what the fuck was his name?
The Black Knight.
Yeah, the Black Knight. Yeah, and that's Blade's voice in the background, right?
Right, okay. But see, the Black Knight and Blade was also part of Midnight Suns. You know, so
give it to me. Fucking just spoon feed that
horror.
Shit.
Yeah. Just give us a better Ghost Rider because the Ghost Rider from the show sucked. The Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage sucked. I know people love him now, but that sucked.
Come on.
So if I'm all for the horror elements of the MCU because we can do it. Did you like Moon Knight, by the way?
So I was definitely excited to watch it, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I want to say this being almost like tongue-in-cheekish a little bit. Nothing really happened.
It doesn't connect to the outer MCU.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that's what critics complain about. Like, oh, I don't like all these because they feel like episodes connecting everything.
Well, and I get somewhere down the road it will. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's just...
clearly they're setting up for Midnight Suns. But both this movie and Doctor Strange, in a way, were standalone. I mean, Doctor Strange is a sequel to WandaVision more than Doctor Strange, but it was its own thing. So I feel like a lot of the criticism both Moon Knight and Doctor Strange is getting is the same stuff that they're remedying that people complained about before.
Right.
You know, a big complaint was all the Marvel movies look the same with the same colors. They feel like episodes of a season instead of a movie. Yeah. This movie was colorful, looked super weird, had Sam Raimi vibes.
Imagine if this was your first MCU movie. You'd be like, are all the other ones like this? You know?
Yeah, right? Yeah, then they're going to be very disappointed because they're not.
You watch Captain America 1 or Iron Man 1 or watch Doctor Strange 2. I'm just going to call it that. And then watch like Iron Man 1, you'd be like, what the fuck?
This takes place in the same universe? Wow. Also, I wanted to say really quick, I love how it ended with him having the eyeball and he like kind of screams in the ash kind of way.
Yeah.
But then they do that after credit scene and it kind of
Eternals.
It wasn't with the Eternals.
Yeah, that's Homegirl. That's what's her ass from.
No, that was Charlie. No, that was Charlize Theron.
Oh, that was Charlize Theron.
Yeah, she plays Clea. That's not the Eternals.
What the fuck? I thought that was Angelina Jolie.
No. I know, but see, it could have been.
I was like, oh, one of the Eternals came get him because now he's in trouble. He's been fucking around too much.
But no, that's going to be.
God damn it! Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm such an idiot.
It actually makes more sense. It would have made more sense if it was Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, I was like, oh, one of the fucking Eternals is coming to get him because he fucked up, and like, people are pissed, Like,
nope, that's completely its own different thing.
So we're like going down a whole new thing.
Yes, it's going to get even weirder. I hope they get Sam Raimi back for the third one, because that one's where Clea is a supernatural being. She actually becomes a wife to Doctor Strange.
Wow, I'm like having my mind blown. I'm such a fucking ding-dong.
It's so weird. So it's going to be even more crazier interdimension stuff. And
when she popped out, I was like,
"Who's that?"
Well, I was like, "Wait, I know that. I know her." And I was like, "Oh, that's Angelina Jolie from fucking Eternals." And I was like,
"No."
I was like, "Oh man, fuck." He's in trouble for fucking making universes crash against each other. Shit. To be fair, though, I had this fucking like older couple.
Yeah, I wouldn't shut up.
Like, dude, like they were nice enough and they weren't that loud, but she had to like have a vocal reaction to literally everything that happened.
I hate.
So it was like something would happen. She'd go, and then she'd wait a second and like mumble to her husband, and her husband can't fucking hear her probably because she's always fucking talking. And he'd just be like, huh? And I'm just like, dude, like I went to the fucking 1:00 showing on a Tuesday, so I didn't have to deal with this. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wait.
Yes.
No, go ahead. You probably have something.
No, that was it. Go ahead.
Okay. So what? Like, the thing that I think that I'm tripping out about the most is like, she goes to that universe or that timeline or whatever the fuck we're calling it. Is it universe? They call it a universe a lot, but like it's kind of the timeline universe. Like, what
it's like a universe. It's kind of happening at the same time in a different dimension, sort of. Yeah.
Okay. So she goes to that universe, like takes over that Wanda mom or whatever, right? And she fucking absolutely fucking destroys that like timeline / universe. Like she pops in. The fucking Illuminati's in charge. She's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
She didn't even get hit at all.
Yeah, right. Like she was kind of limping at the end, but she was just like, fuck you guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
But she went into that like multiverse, that reality, and just absolutely decimated it, at least in like that area. So like, what are the repercussions of that? Or like, you know, if Fantastic Four's like coming up, you know, within a few years, like, you know, now we're trying to cross over X-Men a titch. You know, we're starting to bring in the Inhumans. Like
each of those characters were from different dimensions, though.
Okay.
Because I clearly.
So those are like, even though they're all the Illuminati together, they're from different like Earth 20 some different number or whatever.
Yeah, because.
But how are they getting there?
Well, because remember they were studying interdimension traveling. That's what.
Rachel McAdams, right.
Right. So they all come from different places.
So she's able to like master that, or like how are they? Because I thought Chavez was the only one that was able to like skip timelines.
Yeah, but Doctor Strange had that little secret door where he had the anti-Necronomicon.
Yeah.
That he could use to get to the different dimensions, but it was all secret because no one else could get there anymore because they killed him.
Right.
So all those people come from different dimensions, I guess. Because Xavier was from the cartoons, because he had the yellow chair and they played the X-Men theme when he
Dude, did you shit your pants when they played the X-Men theme? I was like, oh my God. Like, little kid me was like, I'm going to fucking lose my mind right now, dude.
My head exploded, no pun intended, when Black Bolt was there, because the friggin' show was terrible and everyone hated not the Eternals. What was it called?
Inhumans.
Inhumans. Everyone hated that.
Yeah.
You know?
Feige's just like, fuck you. I'm just totally fucking retconning this shit.
Right. But the whole reason why he had the helmet on, though, was just because it was going to blow his brains out later.
Yeah.
Because if it was like the show, his brains literally would have come out of his head.
Pop. Yeah.
Right. So
like, what are they going to do with that, though? Like, you just opened up a huge door.
Well, they clearly can't be done because this movie nothing happens in this movie.
Not really.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, this story happens, but like nothing really affects like anything else. You know, its own little thing. But I mean, clearly they're building up to Secret Wars because that lady that comes out, Clea, is like, oh, you're causing an incursion, so we have to go fix it. That's when universes smash together.
Yeah,
that's what happens in the comics. Yeah,
dude, I'm still the Angelina Jolie. Yeah, I was just like,
not Angelina Jolie. I kind of wish it was her now because that would have like tied Eternals to it in a way.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going on. That the whole time I was like, oh, okay, now there was actually a purpose for Eternals.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Let's be honest. That was.
I liked Eternals.
I liked it too. I really did. But like, if you're I don't know. Right. Like there's.
But no, look, and this can close this out. Everyone who complains that the Marvel movies are all the same have not been watching these last 5 movies ever since Endgame. All the Marvel movies have been really different. I know a lot of people didn't like Black Widow. The Black Widow was nothing like the other Avengers movies. It was like a quiet spy movie.
No, and like
Shang-Chi was like a karate movie, like a kung fu adventure
movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
and like that's the thing is like, I don't know. The MCU or Disney or fucking Marvel does not need anyone pimping them. Obviously, you know what I mean. But as a fucking just nerdy ass fanboy, like, I would say at least at the beginning of like when the Infinity Saga started happening, and then it really expanded quite a bit when Disney Plus started doing like the series. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to compare like tone and mood and cinematography and coloring and vibe, like you can go from like WandaVision to Loki to fucking, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like they're all like just vastly different. Yeah, vastly different. Vastly different.
Just don't even count the shows. Just look at the movies that we've had. We've had Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Spider-Man, and then this. That's 5 different movies that are completely different.
Oh yeah.
Like Eternals was like really drab and boring looking, but really that was like a small independent movie.
Yeah, it was very kind of like indie art kind of.
Okay, but indie art in a freaking MCU movie.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah.
So
no, I mean, and it started happening too when, like, I think when they let Taiki Waititi or whatever just fucking killed his name. Yeah, dude, Ragnarok. Like, you have to admit that was maybe the first time beyond like Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or whatever where you were like, "Fuck's going on here? This is definitely a different vibe." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I think that complaint is lame when people say they're all the same, because this is pretty different. All these, I mean, you don't have to like them, but they're all vastly different from each other.
I don't know how you could be
anti-Marvel.
Well, that too, but I don't know how you could be a Sam Raimi fan and not love this movie.
Oh man,
everything. It's like they gave him even more money than he got for Spider-Man. He'd learned his lessons from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He had like really good kind of like mentors. Not that Sam Raimi needs a mentor, but like he had a good team around him,
Yeah.
Like, and
he made this friggin' movie during the pandemic.
Yeah. And like
think about that too.
And he was able to like do what he does and still be as violent and as intense and just fucking
and still make it make sense with the rest of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, and it be PG-13. I mean, again, there's some question there as how to that actually happened, but that's fine.
I'm gonna say that Wanda didn't die.
No,
because all that red smoke come out. But I think what they're gonna do, they're gonna finish out the House of M story, because WandaVision was kind of like the first half of House of M, the comics.
Is House of M where she fucking like takes out all the mutants?
Yep. But that's later on.
Is that how they're going to explain there's like not mutants in this timeline?
I think what they're going to, well, see, like I said, WandaVision does the first part where she has the children.
Yeah.
Which in the comic book, the children were variants of the devil, basically, Mephisto.
Yeah, they're Mephisto. Okay. Yeah.
Right. They don't have Mephisto yet, but he could be the villain in Midnight Suns if they make it.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's been waiting for Mephisto ever since WandaVision dropped.
Right. So, but this part where she turns evil, that's in House of M. But then later on, after all that goes on and she makes all the mutants disappear, she gets amnesia and doesn't know how she got to where she's at. She can't remember anything.
Right.
That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, dude.
Well, and like I said, closing this out, because I know this is coming up to 40 minutes. Wanda is the most interesting character in the entire MCU.
Oh my god, dude!
Her story.
I cried at the end. I'm not gonna fucking lie. Like when she has her realization of like what she's actually doing.
Yeah.
And where she basically goes and like tortures the one thing she's been trying to pursue the entire time.
Right.
And how she understands that like you can't just fucking take someone's mom away, even if you're technically the same person. Like there's like, I was like. I fucking teared up. I was like, man, that's like, yeah. But I mean, this is I have kids, so like, I'm like, oh my god, I have twins, so I'm like, oh my god,
Okay, a lot of people hate those kids. Those freaking kids are good actors. I like them.
They're fine. They're perfectly fine for what they're being asked to do. They're perfectly fine. It's a little cheese dick, but it's totally fine. I mean,
it's got to be.
Yeah, it needs to. Yeah, it has a bit of like the sitcom-y that kind of carried over from like WandaVision, but like that's how they're supposed to be. That's how they're supposed to be. It is what it is.
So. I mean, unless they're also setting up for Young Avengers, because they're 2 Young Avengers.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Wiccan and whatever the other one's name is, but yeah.
Man,
So
I get so overwhelmed. I'm like, I need to know what the plan is here with
yeah.
you just opened up such a fucking big can of worms, and now I'm just sitting there like, oh, I don't know
And
what the
then
fuck's gonna happen.
the next Thor movie. Did you see the trailer for
Yeah,
Thor
of course.
4?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, fuck me, like I have no idea what's going on anymore, and that's why I get so much anxiety before I go to these movies because I'm like, I don't know what to expect. I'm so nervous.
I want these characters to live forever.
Yeah, I'm so attached. Yeah.
Well,
Thor,
think
don't
about
leave
it.
me, even though I hated you.
Those characters are older than your own kids.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
You've known those characters longer than you've known your children.
Yep. Being Star-Lord.
Yeah. I don't even care about Guardians 3.
I mean, I do because like I really love
I didn't like the second one.
Okay. What saved Guardians and Thor for me? Well, Ragnarok saved Thor. Everybody knows that,
right?
But what saved, I guess, maybe is like the fucking insane interaction that goes on between Thor and the Guardians.
Yeah. Oh,
you
that's
know what
great.
I mean? Like calling fucking Rocket Rabbit. Like just fucking, like the whole
like Star-Lord is like very insecure, super voice, and
like that whole shit. Like I'm 1,000% there. Like you can feed me Thor and Guardians the interaction all day long because I think that homeboy that plays Thor is good when he's funny.
Yeah,
when he's serious,
flame.
See you, dude. Like we're good. I don't need that. But when he was the receptionist in the female Ghostbusters, oh my god, I was dying. He was so fucking funny.
Even like when he was in that horrible Vacation sequel remake.
Yes.
When he was there, it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good when he's funny. Like he needs to take those like John Cena roles. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope because I'd rather see him than John Cena. He's playing Hulk Hogan.
No shit.
Yes. They're doing a Hulk Hogan movie, and he's playing Hulk Hogan. That's why he got all buffed out for Thor because he was actually buffed up for.
They were like
Incredible, Incredible Hulk, but Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
I'm stoked for that, by the way. But there's already a scene where you can tell where he like stands on the rock and he like takes his shirt off, and everyone's like, "Oh fuck yeah!"
Than what he was before.
And like Star-Lord rolls his eyes. Like I can't wait for that interaction because it's gonna be so good. Because he's gonna be like, I'm looking pretty good, and Star-Lord's gonna be like, "Fuck you,"
So, would you recommend everyone to see Multiverse of Madness?
Okay. Here we go. I would not recommend parents take their 9-year-old. Or am I going to draw the line and be like this fucking totally like fucking religious, I don't know, gatekeeping asshole? Don't take your 7-year-olds to see this movie.
I would say that's fair.
Yeah. If they're like 8-ish or 9, you're good. Everybody that's above the age of 8.5, go see this movie.
Yeah, I think anyone younger than that's not going to really get the nuance of the characters anyway. They're just going to say good guy, bad guy. I can't tell who's the good guy or bad guy.
And I'm going to kind of get attached, or we're going to see a character that I'm attached to get fucking literally impaled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that too. Yeah, really quick. I love the fight scene when he's using all the music notes.
Oh, I know, dude. I was sitting there thinking, I was like, they literally turned the musical score into a character. Like
Danny Elfman did the score for the movie.
Yeah, I know. I saw
that. And
there's
one scene that I love when there's like the montage of Wanda doing all the evil stuff. It started playing like heavy metal guitars and real drum kits and stuff in a Marvel movie.
Yeah,
like
so good.
It was like noise rock every time something evil was on the screen.
Well, like in the post-credit scene when he's walking down the street and his third eye comes, they're like hit the fucking, like guitar feedback. You're like, oh fuck yeah.
It's the most metal of Marvel movies.
The fucking Marvel and metal. Here we go.
All right.
How about you? What would you say? I just recommended it to everybody over 8.
I would say if you like the MCU movie, don't stop. Go ahead and see this one because it's probably my favorite. It's probably my number 2 favorite Marvel movie.
Ooh, what's number 1?
I'm gonna have to give it to Winter Soldier as number 1.
Oh, you're a Winter Soldier guy. Okay.
Yeah, because I really like that comic, and that movie does a really good job of changing it up enough, and that's just a really good movie.
Cool.
You know,
Cool.
but I mean, this movie's clearly a lot more stylish and a lot more interesting.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's still new though. I've got to watch it a few more times to see if it tops Winter Soldier for me.
I mean, that's the thing is, I will say, like, at least, even though this is super fresh for me, like, sometimes I see a Marvel movie and I'm like, I'm good. Like, cool. Now I know what happens next. Like, I'm caught up. I'm good.
Yeah, like a series, like a TV series.
You know, like I have no desire to go back and watch Ant-Man 1. Like, I've seen it like 2-3 times and I'm like, cool, I'm fine.
Good enough.
You know, like we're good. But like with Doctor Strange, I'm like, fuck, or Doctor Strange 2, I'm like, fuck, like I need to go rewatch that because there was so much Sam Raimi in it that it was like, like I need to go experience that again. You know what I mean?
That's my thing. I think if you're a Marvel fan, go see this movie. If you're a Sam Raimi fan, go see this movie, even if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, if you hate Marvel and then know nothing about comics, you have to go.
This is peak Sam Raimi. This is him like leveled up.
Yes,
he has the budget. He has the.
Someone gave Sam Raimi $200 million and was like, make a Sam Raimi movie.
As long as it connects to the next one, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to say for the people who hate Marvel and keep saying that Marvel movies are all the same, and go see this movie because I think you'll change your mind.
Yeah, and like, stop. Like, just stop.
Yeah,
like,
it's okay.
Yeah,
it knows what it is.
Yeah, it's okay to like things that we don't need to be watching A24 movies like 24 hours a day. Like we're good. Go see a Marvel movie, lighten the fuck up.
Look, I liked X, but I had way more fun with Doctor Strange than I did X.
Well, how could you not, dude? Come on.
Right?
I mean, even I mean, I still really I feel like I need to watch X at least 2 more times.
Okay, well, look at this will be the ending. You love the Batman.
Yes.
Remember how people were saying with the Batman, oh, it's the DCU version of 7. There's definitely horror elements with the Riddler.
Yeah.
No. This movie was a horror movie.
No, this was no.
Batman, no.
Yeah. Like that was okay. The Batman is like 7, like is the Diet Coke version of 7.
Diet 7.
Yeah, Diet 7. This is like Doctor Strange 2 is basically like
the TikTok version of Evil Dead.
Yeah. It's like the Pepsi Max
no
Drag Me to Hell.
It's that space Coke. Remember that space Coke they have?
It's whatever it's called. Yeah, it's the space. It's the they have like an energy drink. It's like Coke Energy. It's the fucking it's that, or it's like the Joke Cola. of
Surge
of Sam Raimi's fucking Drag Me to Hell. It's the Joke Cola version.
I'm a Marvel fanboy. I'm a Sam Raimi fanboy, and I like weird movies. So this movie checks all the boxes for me. Yep, and I love Elizabeth Olsen. I think she's an amazing actress.
Oh yeah, she's just wonderful.
I like that kid who played America Chavez. She reminds me of my
she was
niece.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, she was cool. Like, I don't mean to be an asshole, but like some of the younger like actresses or actors that they're. Well, I mean, some of the ones they've introduced into the series, I'm like,
I hate the girl that plays in Hawkeye.
Yeah, that was a little
so rough. Disney Channel. It was like so Disney
Channel. For me.
I hated it.
And then
I liked Hawkeye.
There's one other one that they're bringing in. We haven't seen that one, but like Miss Marvel, I'm like, I'm a little.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, who cares? It's going to be a TV thing. It can't be bad.
I know.
But so
hold on, was Hawkeye easily the worst Disney Plus series?
I want to say that Winter Soldier and Falcon was the worst because it meant nothing. The only thing that show really did was introduce Walker, because Falcon he becomes Captain America at the end of Endgame. This was just like a period on that.
But Hawkeye was just like.
Hawkeye had freaking Kingpin in it though, and Echo.
Yeah, you're right.
Echo.
All right, you're right. Okay.
And the girl from Black Widow,
true,
whatever her name is.
Yeah, Elena, or what is her name?
I love her.
Oh, everyone loves her. Yes.
I mean, I don't know about the actress; she's fine, but like, I love that character.
Oh, I love that actress. I'm just being a total creep right now. It's fine.
She could beat me up though.
That whatever she needs to do is fine.
I would love it. It's okay.
I'm cool.
Actually, I love Echo. The lady that played Echo is friggin' amazing, and she
Yeah.
really is deaf, and she really is an amputee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucking good.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's cast. Like, I love it. Like, yeah.
And she's not really an actress.
Oh, really? They're just that's dope.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Representation matters, man. It
And
really
that just
does. I'm
means-
not being a dick. Like,
No,
it
no,
really
and
does
that
matter.
means that Daredevil's coming back around, because you
Oh, I
can't
know.
have Echo's story without Daredevil.
Well, I mean, Daredevil was in fucking Spider-Man.
Right, but I mean, like, they're literally going to make this happen because they're making an Echo series on Disney Plus.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So you can't have that story without Kingpin and Daredevil. So.
I'm into it.
We've done sold our soul to Marvel.
That's fine. I don't care.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about Mephisto.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, this has been the Crushed Monocle Podcast Unplugged edition. I'm your host, Coop. This is my co-host, John.
Thanks for listening to us be fucking Marvel fanboys. I promise we've both moved out of our mom's basement, but not too far away.
No.
Still always close to the basement.
Yes. Please like and subscribe to this video, or leave a comment on where we're wrong or how right we are.
Or tell us what your first wet dream was in the comments.
I don't think the Unplugged people will get that because they haven't listened to the real podcast.
Then listen to the fucking podcast, you assholes.
That's my whole point. Don't watch this YouTube garbage. Go listen to the real podcast.
We talk about other shit.
All right. So this has been the Crushed Monocle Podcast Unplugged. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification button. I don't know. Do whatever. and yes, check us out on Apple or iTunes, Spotify, or whatever you listen to the podcast.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace out.
Peace.